Welcome back from the lunch break. Council, if you're ready to continue, you may proceed, please.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. Mr. Fadera, welcome back.
Mr. Fadera, bismillah. Abaraka baka, Council.
Mr. Fadera,
thank you very much, Council.
You are still on the oath.
Very well.
So, before the break, we were talking about the sale of the land by the council, the Mansakonko Area Council. And you are deprived of it. So you agreed to withdraw your case against the how do you call it? Against who are the people against whom you are proceeding?
The businessman, the chief and the governor.
The businessman.
Council, before you proceed, isn't there an area council account into which the 300,000 would be deposited?
There should be, but it's the proceeds of sale that should be deposited there. We don't know whether it's 300,000. That's the problem. Do you have the transfer document?
Transfer.
Who cast the Jumala?
Yalon Bria Cordian Dinkra sang, Meje sang. The Kaitol de la Cardiala Kaitan de la Cosai, Italon Janti.
The council level.
The council has it.
But I think you showed me a document showing the transfer of the land.
Let me come there.
No, the
document I showed you.
Notice
I gave you 2 notice documents.
Notice clear.
The other notice.
What first notice?
That's the first notice.
Notice of eviction.
Notice of eviction. Yes, that's to remove me from the place.
Notice the
second one.
Well, suspension of eviction.
That's the suspension of the eviction.
But court.
But when we were going to court, when my lawyer wanted them to clarify the issue, again, apart from those two documents, saying that that plot belongs to the area council, because they are the people who allocated it to Fadera, and they are the same people who wrote the eviction order, and the suspension order, and they the same people who wrote the suspension letter.
Therefore,
he made another document. He said that the plot I am using, the one they took from me,
Soma Village Development Fund, Soma Development Committee,
belongs to the Soma Development Committee.
VDC cannot.
He said the village development committee.
VDC the businessman.
He said the place was bought by the VDC, who decided to give it to the businessman.
No. The property was owned by the VDC, who sold it to this business.
Who sold it to the businessman?
Village Development Committee businessman on transfer document.
He said the VDC owned the plot, who sold it to the businessman, and they made the transfer document and gave it to him.
Would you send me the copy?
Yes. One moment.
That became a big problem for me. Because when I was applying for this, I applied it to the Mansakonko Area Council.
And the eviction notice
and the eviction notice came from the Mansakonko Area Council.
And the suspension notice
and the suspension notice came from the Mansakonko Area Council.
High Court.
But when we were going to High Court,
Soma Development Committee,
then when we were going to court, that was the time when the chief said that the plot belongs to the VDC, who sold it to the businessman. And my lawyer said that's fraud.
Okay, just hold a second. Mansakonko Area Council.
Area Council.
Who was the alter ego of Mansakonko Area Council? Who had responsibility for the administration of Mansakonko Area Council?
Oh, what Mansakonko Area Council the time nya abejumala bulunu.
Wala mu CEO Chief Executive Officer wala mu ila ke bati.
What was his name?
Atodum.
Whatuma? Ngamira konto mu jobate.
I think his surname was Jobate.
Babading Jobate.
I don't know his name, but I know his surname very well.
Exactly. And the chief also would be involved in every land transaction in that area, correct?
Amunda sefo fanang korda ku tamande kunya membe tamala ji adaka bulaje kodi.
Bake.
Very well.
And the alcalo also would be involved in the land transaction.
Alcalo fanan daka bula ko nyin kono.
Ani area council lano alcalo daraje.
The alcali is not part of the area council.
Every land that is sold within the jurisdiction of the alcalo should be involved.
Eno kena ninga be wafida alcalo nyina utusato kono je alcalo nyinya na kala mutala.
Hani ni area council fe mu keno memo area council la kamen supervise alcalo da ka tarawoto jara soma because jara soma am capital walti.
Jara soma they take it as a capital, and land business, the alkali is not part of it. It all is rested on the area on the.
But that is your position.
Abola nyama fana.
And that's how it is.
Aruna revenue membe ka collect in ka be develop le sujara somale.
Just hold a second.
Okay,
just hold a second. This land transaction was approved by the Chief Executive Officer of Mansakonko Area Council.
Meye sonta ko nyinna wala Chief Executive Officer member marali Mansakonko Area Council la.
You agree?
Isonta nyawala.
Follow ta.
The first one.
I say this particular one. This transfer you say is a forgery or is a fraud.
Well, at a grand style.
Well, just a second. Irrespective of what your lawyer thought, if you say that this land belonged to Mansakonko Area Council, well, the transfer was approved by Mansakonko Area Council.
Transfer ni wala keno ka saundi ka bondi do ka samba bulu do me ya sontala wala Mansakonko Area Council ti.
And you can, Mr. Kambi, show it to him. The signature,
the bottom,
approved by CEO. You could see that it is signed by Jobate. I can give you another document. You can compare the signatures.
No,
exactly.
I've seen it.
So Mansakonko Area Council approved the sale. So how could Mansakonko Area Council defraud Mansakonko Area Council?
Sila Mansakonko Area Council wala sonda si firo nyina. Sila Mansakonko Area Council kilingo nyimfana betapale yake Mansakonko Area Council tapale yano.
Yin kaito bota Somalia mambo Mansakonko Area Council.
This document came from Soma, but not from the Mansakonko Area Council.
Wale beje Mansakonko Area Council a letter heritage council.
Yes.
It doesn't have the Mansakonko Area Council letterhead.
But it has the signature of the Mansakonko Area Council Chief Executive.
He is one
of the co-conspirators because he was one of the guys who he was among the people who shared the money.
It also has the stamp and signature of the Alcalo.
Andung Alcalo fana na signature na la stampo fana beje.
Forgery leti.
That's forgery.
And that of the chief too.
Nin sefo fananta.
All fraud start number one.
So you are just using these terms, making allegations, but you have no proof of fraud.
Their deeds is what revealed what they do.
So, who was chairman of the Soma VDC?
Soma VDC, la kiama no munu jumaletinu.
Malonde.
I don't know.
You don't know?
No.
Did you inquire whether the Soma VDC, the right person, signed the document?
When karo akonyin ke akonyin na labang kafo kwa long for member num VDC la kiama ni ala fo nyin kaito nyin sign na ba.
Council, another manke kabirin dunia Gambia lora janto Mansakonko Area Council administration rokono VDC dara na mambulaje.
Since the beginning of things, Mansakonko Area Council, the VDC has never been involved in their transactions.
But
itolle ke la arrangement o sambanang pour ilafta e Mansakonko Area Council ye ase sembentu yandi bari itol bikana Mansakonko Area Council administration kono e buka partage e mans role sodoje hani demanding.
They don't take part or they don't have any role in whatever Mansakonko Area Council does. The VDC is set up by themselves.
And do you know what is the role of the VDC?
VDC, yela do kolo na bang ila longkunta.
Ego Village Development Committee.
They said it is the Village Development Committee.
Isn't it? And if money is to come to the village,
who
would it? To which institution would it go to?
Bita do ko bunda jumalto.
Ni kodo?
Nada sate oto. Bita bunda jumalto.
Ni kodo nada sate oto.
Sate oe, eh.
Akata sate ola Development Committee.
It goes to the Village Development Committee.
Exactly. And this was money coming to the village, to the village, isn't it?
Council 100% in kodo mata Soma Development Committee aduila haji teje anamanke.
This I know 100%. This money didn't go to the Soma Development Council because it never happened there.
But how can you prove that?
Council mbejele on the ground. Era council la tamani janga alone on kata jele every day.
I was there on the ground, and I know how area council works, and I go there every day.
Then why did you agree really to drop this case in exchange for that other case for which you still believe that you were innocent?
Silang muna na isonda katanyeng case ni katafa kiti bunda ka bondije kiti la me alon ko ison ilata nyinna ko yete tumi menna kiti le tumi le me alon ko aman sota ika iman so
no kele criminal action of commissioner Ousmane Diallo criminal action ay kole amel lankanga ka wala yama bari nga kele feroten.
It's because of the suffering I encountered by the criminal action of Commissioner Ousmane Diatta. What he did to me, this is why I agreed to do that.
And Ousmane Diatta?
And Ousmane Diatta, what he did to me like this, it was financed and influenced by Yaya Jajusi.
100%.
100%.
Do you have proof?
He said and also
what he did is what revealed it to me.
The sale of the land, is that what you're saying?
Arrest me and accuse me false accusations.
You see, when I look at this land transfer, what I see is that the Alcalo, the VDC, the chief executive, and the chief are all involved in this sale.
VDC, Alcalo, Sefo, and Chief Executive Officer member Masanko area council will be more than Melanco double and Kenola and Wafi.
Correct?
Nimu fabricated paper council.
This is a fabricated paper.
Are you saying, who did you say fabricated this paper?
Sefo Yaya Jajusi will fabricate.
This was fabricated by Sefo.
So you are saying that Yaya Jajusi falsified the signature of Chief Executive BK Jobate. That's what you are saying.
Chief Executive Officer member no Mansango area council ala signature nying ay wala fa aya sunyato faling.
Ma fo nyamade. I make ngamel long.
What he did, what I know. Let me make this paper for a cover-up for our because Baba Dundin Jobate got his own share.
If an sign,
he will also sign it.
Alcalo Muna Badwelti, Woba sign
Alcalo is my relative, even if I don't give him anything, he's a relative.
Nara VDC Kiamano Woba Bandala from Mantra Keri, Nara Wofana, Wofana Badi sign and Burkan Koba.
The VDC chairman is of late now, but at that time, as a relative, he will also sign it.
Woleketa?
This is what happened.
Woleketa or ye wole guess?
And what a 100%.
100%, that's what happened.
Mr. Fadera.
Council.
This is just your guess as to what happened.
I know because I was in the middle of everything.
But what you claim to know is simply a guess. Just answer the question. You have no first-hand knowledge of what you are saying. It's all based on guesswork.
Council, if I can remember, when I got this document, I think I asked somebody who is a member of the VDC. What he told me, if I remember, I swore by the Quran. He said it was the chief who came and told them to help them or help him make this paper. So that they will fabricate this, they will make this false document. That's what is my stand.
Okay. So Hamidou Ja also, his signature is falsified? Is that what you say?
Hamidou Ja signature ni ofona ilafta fala yofona sunyaro keleba ya falin.
Well,
I didn't ask about that.
So you simply do not have anything to prove the accusations that you are making.
One
property cannot belong to two people. That cannot be correct. Well, my mind doesn't take it, and I don't think the law will take it.
What I understand.
And you have made another accusation about the $5,000 bribe.
Baba Fadera, what are
I was given that information by Baba Fadera.
What do you say if I tell you that Baba Fadera has denied saying that to you?
We muna sadabi memfola ni amwe ko Baba Fadera abalanta wala la yoso sole ko amo.
Baba I will fonte. I more than 10 times.
Baba, that's what he told me. And I asked him more than 10 times. He repeated the same thing, and that's what he told me.
What do you say when I tell you that Baba denied that? He said he never told you that.
Yemuna sadabi memfola ninko ko Baba ko amanso wala anamofo.
But then it will be Baba who is telling lies if that is true.
Well, and you have no first-hand information that that 5,000 was ever paid.
I have repeatedly.
He told me repeatedly.
Aduna a senior wife mo abarendi maldi.
And my first wife, my senior wife, is a nephew to him, is a niece to him.
I have na muso fanai.
And he also gave the same information to my wife.
Well, and this is why it is not good to rely on hearsay information.
Wala sabu akumaya da amansa bade puruka suji ni ngamu kumakan wala ro.
Sonta wala but council do go men be kadi a receipt bukatarala.
I agree to that, council, but all bribes are never receipted.
And we bukala fa lankenema.
And they don't want it to come out to light.
But the person you are saying gave the bribe denied it.
But a moment to for ko wale du ko nyindi o balantala le.
Ma amo fonye.
He didn't tell me that.
Well, I can assure you that he told us, the TRRC.
Nsila mani andi no nyinna ko ay wal fon tole jan TRRC.
Otoni akata wala nyama mela lela kumola botai fanyala for ala family.
Then I will take your word. But if that is the truth, he told a lie to his own family.
Well, and it means you have repeated that lie to the commission.
Oro amunda koto munyete wala mnyidiko oro fania ni fana yo murunkan commission nyati lo la janne.
They relied on telecom because na mamira se fania fonye.
I relied on him because I never thought that he will tell me a lie.
Okay, so let us move on. Let us move on.
Thank you.
2014.
In 2014. I was in my home at Jara Soma.
And I la operative follow mo saba wala mo fula wala lunda na koda kono.
3 operatives from the NIA or 2 came to my home.
Mo saba la barakino me bantale.
There were 3, but 1 stayed out of the compound. The 2 ones who came into the compound. One is called Suleiman Jaite. The other one's surname is Jallo, but I forgot his first name. The one standing out was a female called Wontodabo.
Suleiman Jaite and Jallo.
Suleiman Jaite and Jallo. They came into my compound. 12th April
2014.
In 2014. When they came, they said they came for me. They were sent. And information came from Banjul saying that I should be arrested and taken to Mansakonko. And from there, you will be taken to Banjul. I asked them what has happened. They said they were not given that information. I told them, well, I have not had my dinner. Let me just have food. They followed me up to the interior of my house. I ate only 1 spoon. I said, no, I am okay. Let's go. We left. We went to Mansakonko. When we reached,
NIA director, regional director.
The regional director, the NIA regional director.
Dada Mane.
Dada Mane. He also arrived with his car.
Ako Osile.
He asked for the OC.
Police station or Mansakonko?
At the police station at Mansakonko.
Ika Amantaraja.
They said he is not around.
Ako ala call.
They said he told them to call him.
Yeah, call.
They called him.
Abdu Dabo Matori.
His name is Abdu Dabo.
Anata.
He came.
Director Dada Mane.
Director Dada Mane.
Akainga orders from headquarters Banjul NIA.
He said he got orders from the Banjul NIA headquarters.
Fadera arrest nga place alla custody.
Saying that Fadera, we should arrest him and put him under your custody. Tomorrow a vehicle will come and collect him and take him to Banjul. That's the information that I came to deliver here.
So,
that's him here.
A book?
Book him.
Sama?
Tomorrow, a vehicle will come to pick him up. I spent the night in the cell, and the following morning, the vehicle came. But I can remember that during the night, my temper rose up. Seriously. My temperature rose up, really. I asked them, I wanted to go to the hospital because my temperature rose up and my head was paining.
Police on duty, Abdu Dabo command OC.
The police on duty called the OC Abdu Dabo.
Aka Fadera complaint ako sasale bala purunga sambal tanoto.
It informed him that Fadera has complained that he is sick and he wants to go to the hospital.
Ako alabla faje.
He said, leave him there to die. Because he's an opposition. I was there till in the morning. The vehicle came and picked me up. I was taken to Banjul. When we reached Banjul, I was detained. That day, I think it was on the 13th. I was I think it was on a Saturday.
Sunday, you learned that?
Because on Sunday we went.
Monday,
Yensamba, a panel of investigators. I was taken to face a panel of investigators.
Oh, panel
among that panel, there was somebody called Assis Haidara.
Omar Tunkara.
And Omar Tunkara.
Lamin
Sanyang.
And Wan Jallo.
And Wan Jallo.
Sisida.
We sat down.
They
told me, do you know why you are brought here? I said, I don't know. They said, you. Panderimbai reported you here.
Kassim Fadera.
Saying that you, Kassim Fadera, you are the person who used to pass him information from the Mansakonko region.
Masakundala activities?
All the government activities that take place here.
Authority Masakongo.
And all the authorities around Mansakonko. Whatever they do. And also you told him that. Saying that Yaya Jammeh is sick. And he fell in his compound on 2 occasions. That's the time when I laughed. I said, is that true? They said yes. I asked them, who told you this? They said, Panderimbai. They said, but your discussion with Panderimbai is recorded. And we have the recording. Now, tell us the truth. Because we have been told that you are the spy.
Spy chief in the Mansakonko region.
You are the spy chief in the Mansakonko area.
Against APRC government.
Against the APRC government.
You are
the person who hosts journalists. We understand that the reporter for the Daily Observer is in your compound. I said yes. We understand also that the reporter for the Foreign newspaper is also in your compound. I said that's true. So now let's go to the discussion or the chat you had with Panderimbai. What we said here, you are the person who gave that information to Panderi. I told them, play the audio now. As far as you said it's recorded. That's the witness. That's the evidence. They said no. As far as you gave him the information, you yourself, you are here. Don't bother yourself. Just tell us. Afterwards, we will play the audio. Did you talk to Panderimbai? Did you ever tell him anything about Yaya Jajusi? If you tell him also about Yaya Jajusi, he's involved in land sales. And you also told him that former Governor Lamin Dabo, the bad blood between him and Yaya Jajusi, you also gave that information to Panderimbai. I laughed again. They asked me again, did you talk to Panderimbai? Just tell us the truth. Because we don't want you to land yourself in a problem. I said I talked to Panderi. What did you tell him? I said to them that say for Yaya Jajusi, the treatment that he meted on me and the governor and the NIA director Demba Sow, that's what we discussed. And what I told him, that's what I told all the newspapers. And that's what the newspapers wrote. If that is the case, I'll give you that report here. That's what happened. They all laughed. They said, yeah. They said, what about Lamin Dabo? I said, Lamin Dabo, the former governor, did he tell you that information? They said, no. I said, no, that's not true. Lamin Dabo can write better than me. Because Lamin Dabo graduated in England. Because Lamin Dabo is a graduate from England. How can he then tell me to write something for him? So another concentrate Yaya Jajusi. Now they came back and concentrated on Yaya Jajusi's case. I said about him, that's true. I told Panderimbai something about him. But what I told Panderimbai is the same thing that I gave all the newspapers. And that's what's written on this newspaper. And I think something is written on these documents. On these newspapers. This is Foreign newspaper, it is on it. So they told me, now, we will talk with Panderi. All what you said, we agree to that. But we will talk with Panderi before we will play the audio. We recorded your voice, and what we have, we will give that information to our leaders. Whatever happens, we will bring the information back to you.
Mr. Fadera, the article you're talking about, is it only in the Daily News or is it in other papers?
Foreign newspaper also is there.
It's also in Foreign newspaper.
Okay. I could see it in the Daily News.
Two Daily News. Foreign newspaper one. Bakoba.
Yeah?
Bakoba, I believe. You've seen it?
This is... Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
May I proceed?
No, hold a second. Is it on the Foroya? Which page?
Front page or back page? Just cipher it.
It's not in the front page.
May I see? Sorry, let me help.
Just a moment.
You seen most of my job, the governor? Picho? How are you?
Okay. Were you involved in another case with Karamba Jabi, Mustafa Kambi, Demba Kamara?
Those people, they are also victims.
They are also victims?
Yes, so.
So what happened to you happened to all those other people?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so this is not a standalone case against you?
Yeah. So,
okay. All right.
So, covering NIL Jamra.
After talking with the NIA, they said to me, what we wanted from you today, we've got that. Now we will go and talk to our leaders. And they told the guard to return me back to the detention cell. I was taken back to detention.
3-4 days.
After 3 to 4 days, they called me again.
The same questionnaires.
The same questions.
You only repeat.
They repeated the same answers. I gave them the same answers. Now, as he said to me, now we will go and talk to our senior officers. They will analyze the report. Whatever they see in the report, we will send it to the AG's chambers
for advice.
I said, okay, there's no problem.
While at the NIA this time around, did anything unpleasant happen to you? NIA. When I was there, really, I was suffering from ulcer. They cook food, but the type of food I want, I don't get it. I was very sick there. But you were sick as a result of a pre-existing condition.
Well,
I was suffering from I don't get food that I should eat, and that makes me sick. I don't get food. Milk. One milk. That's what I eat every time. That's what I live on.
But were they giving you money to buy food?
$25.
$25.
And was that the sum that was given to everybody else? Every other detainee?
No, they cook food. Those who consume food, they give the food to those people. Those who don't eat food, they give them $25.
So you chose the option of $25? Just a moment.
Okay, sorry.
So you therefore have no complaints when it comes to food, because you were given the daily ration money for food.
$25
Council. When I was going, I went with some money. I used to give money to the guards. They go and buy Afra for me. That's what I eat.
You see, Kassim could afford Afra but for lunch, but the daily thing for Gambia at that time, perhaps maybe $25 it was enough.
But $25, I attended the morning, Council.
$25 cannot feed me.
Yes, because you are Kassim Fadera.
Kassim Fadera. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So let's proceed.
Okay, so
when I fell down for the first time, a nurse was brought in. He checked me. She checked
Mr.
me. Mr.
Fadera, are you reading from your statement? Yes, you are reading from your statement.
It's not that, Council, I never lie. It's a different thing.
Okay, put your statement aside.
This is not the statement, if
Okay.
Completely different story.
Okay, good. Thank you. Proceed.
Okay. So,
could you leave those papers
Sony.
aside? Yes.
No, Sony.
When the nurse came,
I borrowed dinner.
she gave me some medicines.
Called me.
Those are the medicines I was drinking.
Continue to Kataraje.
And then I stayed there.
Major Mana report dinner.
We were there. They didn't give me any report.
But Lumolum Fanara Dame.
But every day, truthfully,
Assis Hydra.
When he's coming inside, coming to me, he'll come to me and greet me. He'll tell me, Fadera, you are here. I said, yes. He said, well, I feel sympathy for you. I have investigated your case.
Family Bible.
You have a big family. I said, that's true. But what can I do? Because I'm here held by you people. He said, it is not me. DG. Yankuba Baji. He is the man who holds the fort. It is on his orders that we are here.
One occasion.
One day he took me aside.
Kassim.
He said to me, Kassim,
you
people are part of the Sirif clan. I'm a Serif. I will tell you something that will help you. Don't you have relatives? Let them go to the chief, Yaya Jajusi, and let them plead with him so that you can leave this place. Because we did our job and we are ready. And the reason what brought you here, what made you to be staying here up to now?
Head of investigation.
I am the head of the investigation unit. But when I asked our DG, he doesn't tell me anything. But the intelligence report, what I have, if you can send people to Yaya Jajusi, because Yankuba Baji is a son to him, Yankuba Baji took him as a father.
You're saying
now, when he told me this, I said to him, thank you. You are a complete Hydra. But I continued there, staying there. I was there for 1 month. On one occasion also, I became sick. I suffered really. I was suffering from stomach problems. I fell down. Worms. On that day, most of those NIA who were there, they thought that I was going to die. But with the help of Allah, there was a man, a relative of mine, that coincided with his coming there. And he's also an NIA. Nansumana Jase from Kolior. He met us there. All of them came and stood over me. When he saw that,
James.
He went to one of their guard commanders, an NIA called James. He said, let's go and see. When they went aside, on the whole, they went to the DG. And they gave DG the report, saying that this man's condition, if we don't release him from here, he might die. Then they came and told me that. James said, can you have somebody who will bail you? I said, yes. I have brothers in Brikama. Let me call them.
Okay.
He said, okay. Let's go to Sukuta Jame's office. We all went to Sukuta. Sukuta used to call me my in-law. He said to me, my in-law, what has happened? I said, well, okay, here. He said, okay, now. Whom do you want to call?
Nkai Mamina Fadera.
I said, I want to call Mamina Fadera.
He
asked me to give him the number, and I gave him the number.
I called.
Mamina was called.
Another?
He came.
I bail sign.
He signed the bail bond for me.
Yambula.
And I was released.
After Karmume?
After 1 month.
Barinkata report bail?
But I go and report for the bail bond.
Weekly?
Weekly.
Bele?
I was there.
Lundo modo finiran kanjara soma.
One day somebody came to me at Jarasoma.
Akato mu Bakari Dahabalde.
He said his name is Bakari Dahaba.
Akate mu informality NIA.
He said he was working as an informer with the NIA.
Ako nakwa balafa.
He said he has pity for me.
Anung ananying arrest wa abora kalamal.
And he was aware of my arrest.
Anung atefong part play.
And he himself played a part.
Anung sefo kateleki DJ.
And he's the person whom the chief sends to DG.
Atemu DJ la errand boylet afong la foro.
What he told me was that he was the DG's errand boy.
But
now, when this thing happened, on the whole, I am a relative to him. Because his wife, his wife's aunt is my stepmother. When this news spread around, he himself regretted because he played a part.
So another sign.
Now he told me now. These NIA boys, they want you to give them something so that you will not go for reporting anymore. I will talk to them because DG is my friend. I asked him now, how much am I going to give you?
10,000.
He said to me, give me 10,000, I will give them that. I said to him, I don't have money. These people destroyed my whole business. And I have a big family. I said to him, let me talk to my relatives. I talked to my brother who is sitting here. I said to them, I don't have money. They said to me now, we will try and make up about 5,000. Because as far as now we happen to be relatives, whatever remains behind, he can also contribute that. They collected the 5,000. Myself, I went with all of them up to Yundum. And this money was given to Bakari Dahaba. He called the DG in my presence. He didn't give DG any information about money. But what he told the DG before, he told DG, those things that we told you before were all lies. Whatever they said about Fadera, what I came to tell you were all lies. He decided to put his mobile on speaker. I was there. My elder brother here was there. My other brother was there. We had lunch in his compound. Truly, his wife is a niece to my stepmother. After that, I didn't go to report anymore. That's how it happened. In that case.
And that was the end of your troubles?
That's the end of my trouble with them.
Okay, so in essence, you were first detained at the NIA for 4 days?
Yes.
And during that period, they...
Congo 2 days?
Yes, Mansa Congo 2 days.
Yes.
And during that period, they inflicted, well, they assaulted you pretty much.
Yes, very well.
Yes.
And the next one is this detention for 1 month.
Fulanjang wala nyumura fulanjang te menke la karikilling.
And this 1 month detention, there was no infliction of severe pain or injury on you. There was no assault. There was no.
No, nobody.
Mura fulanjang me ya kela da karikilling ke jenya wato men na men dimi hanik dimi killing.
Nobody beat me.
The other claim you had of the $37,000 that was already paid.
Yeah, ko do men kaninga men keta simende ko nyinde wilitan sabane wora wula nen kemelulu o jodale.
Okay. Good. So do you have any other complaint of any human rights violations against you?
Wosi da kotan sota la ba me alon ko.
Before we move to the others.
Hana ba nyanta tinya wala ketela ban jannim bita dinkira do kotan to men ketela ba.
Therefore,
Myself,
in 22 years,
in these 22 years,
nyata wala
if that is the case,
adanta woto.
that's where it ended.
Thank God.
Atentu.
Thank God.
Ala tentu.
So now tell us about other human rights violations that occurred in Soma
Silang hadama di
that
nyanta
you are
tinya
aware of.
hadama di nyanta tinya kotangol fonye ba menu keta soma men yalon ko ite ya kala mutale.
Abaka baka council.
Thank you, Council.
Mbura men kalama.
The ones I was aware of,
Mbele,
I was there.
ngamira 1999.
I think this was in 1999.
Ngaje ye mota ninkling arrest kabujara sikunda. Police all.
11 people were arrested from Jara Sikunda by the police.
Ye samana jara soma.
They were brought to Jara Soma.
Nga ye memfo.
What they said,
Iko wol balanta masala kangola.
they said they decided to go against the government orders
Atu masai alkalo dila.
because the government gave them an alkali.
Itol balanta ma race and tax joya.
They refused to pay their rates and taxes to that alkali.
Wokamala
Because of that,
dimas lungu
on a Sunday,
ye kitindi sefo
Yekedi,
ye kitindi kito sefo ye kitindi
the chief decided to take them for trial.
ay kitindi
They were taken to court.
sefo fango ya ajaji
The chief himself, Yaya Jajusi,
ay sentence tiltan nani janjambure
he sent them for 40 days and took them to Janjambure.
tiltan nani yola kaje
40 days, that's what they spent at Janjambure.
adu sojarol moto wole samba
They were taken by a military.
sojarol be ninkido be moto kono
Soldiers were guarding them with guns on board the vehicle.
woketa nyala elaran
That happened in my presence at LRR.
Let me ask you.
Badu ngenyi ninka.
Their crime was they failed to pay rates and taxes.
Ye luwa mentinya wala minde ko e manna mo le jo.
appointed
Lempo.
impose alkalo iko yebi alkalo me impose kam because it's a traditional line of inheritance wole be sa do ye memfo
What happens there is the traditional line of inheritance for the alkaliship. But this man was imposed on them and imposed alkali. This is why they refused.
ye memfo nte ko itulman ba kala ma kabri be alkalo ko mbone la sa to
What they told me was that they were not even aware of anybody who was selected as an alkali in their village.
But did they know that the alkali to whom they were paying rates was not the alkali that was approved by the government?
Foi nata lon ko etele alkalo melong e ka joro ke meyanu wo mumoleti meyalon ko man sakunda man na som pour ka continue ka bulaje
ye memfo nte ko lunkili non inata iko wo alkalo me maskunda ay mento mo ako atle mo alkalo ay sare mol kumande aw foy.
Well, what the information they gave me was that it was just one day that this man came and called them and said to them that now he is the alkali who has been appointed by the government.
But you know that the alkali is always given a stamp.
Bare nyilne alkalo waro wate ka stampo le diala.
Bake.
Really, very well.
And the other stamp is always withdrawn.
Our stamp was stamped do ikawo bonde amari bulule.
How can?
Yes.
Are you aware whether this was done in Sikunda?
Foi in kalamura
Ye memfo nte
Sikunda sato kono ba.
What they told me
itoli arrangement o kan
and what the arrangement that took place,
ila kabila nyaton kolu
the heads of their clans, the Kabilo heads, so that they can select somebody
in line with traditional inheritance, traditional inheritance way of succession.
In line with traditional norms of selection.
Isn't it the case, or wasn't it the case, that the villagers did not like the alcalo that was imposed to them?
Yes,
that's what happened.
And in protest, they decided to pay their rates and taxes to the person they recognize as their alcalo.
That's what happened.
In effect, the person who was not recognized by the government was the person receiving rates and taxes.
Munta mansakunda men sute wala keta mode me alon ko wala be namol ning lampol ning mansakunda ma men sute wala be namol ning lampol ning kaninkan
wala keta.
Yes, that's what happened.
So therefore, in the eyes of the government, somebody was receiving rates without lawful authorization.
Amunta mansa nyati lengo la mole be kisato kono je me yalon ka be namol ni lampol ta kan signala sila la me yalon ko si loi man silo diala
wala kata.
That's what happened.
And couldn't you see that in the eyes of the government that the act of the people meant that in fact rates and taxes were not effectively paid? Because it was not paid to the recognized authority.
Amunta men ketanu moto etela unamo nilempolo. Amanjo katu itelea di men na umanke moti mansakunda men cross. Itelea mansakunda men londi itelinyanta di la menna. Amunta emana joro keoya.
Wala fa kata.
That's what happened.
And didn't you see that as a violation of the laws?
For imaje ko womulu atinyaleti.
Masakunda la karola luati nyala bari wolu fana la lua etola karola yajele ko wo fana etola nyanto tinyala masa etola nyanto tinyala kadu wo mu tol fana la juleti pour masakunda accès consult because nyajele ko local government act be je ko in consultation with the traditional line of inheritance.
That's really on their side. They did what they did was against the law. But what the government also did to them was against the law, because the government should have consulted them and give them the information about the new person who has been selected. Because what they knew before was the normal line of inheritance, which was the norm before, which used to take place there. But if they bring in someone new, suddenly, and they didn't have any information about this, this is what caused the problem.
Let me ask you this. If there was a person collecting taxes in your area, the government changed the person, you did not like the change. You even believed that the change was unlawful. You proceeded to pay taxes to the person who the government did not authorize to collect taxes. Don't you see that you would have been in violation with the tax rules?
Wala mtonyati kadu masakunda lebe marlim bankola anu ay authority sorle ka mo appointed dauda bari fana ñun fala la ñantole comme lolu government acte ya nyame ni be mo tombonna e ñana consultation kala le sate molu wala fana e tol fana sita wala kan wala mula right yam ta ko fana bola protecta.
That's quite true, but the government should also realize that if they take a new person, they should have been given the information that a change has already taken place, then they will be able to know what is going on. But they were not informed, they were not given prior information.
You see, these people were tried for a court for not paying taxes. Isn't it?
Of course.
That's what happened.
Wasn't it in fact true that they did not pay taxes to the authorized authority?
Fodung anyina fana manke ko iman namo jo molu ya men ya lonko wala nyanta namolu kaninna.
Wala kata?
That's what happened.
So what's the problem?
Sai mune nata ke koleati.
Wala am ta ko to fana government la right violate.
They also
because I may consult.
Because they also saw it that the government violated their rights because they were not consulted.
So if there was a rights violation,
in
fact, that would not be a rights violation.
That
may have been a procedural failure on the part of the government. So the government may have failed to observe the procedures that it's set for the purposes of appointing an alcalo.
Woto mansale nata je ko kolu falintale puru inyanta alcalo tombo na silo men na imo silota wo falingole nata kolu sabu
wale conflict sambana.
Yes, but that should not give rise to the refusal of the people to pay taxes to the authorized authority, to the lawfully authorized authority. Or to the authorized authority for that matter.
But o manyana nala sate moli balang ka namo jo nyanta jo la miya mansakunda mintombo pour nyanta namo jo la miya.
So can we move on? It appears that the commissioner wants to say something about it.
Yeah. The Ali can even foresee his commission or her commission and whatever.
Miat nebe jolo ke kan alikalo ya wala pour alikalo ngi ko muta doron ka amara.
But if you pay at the area council, they calculate that and pay it to the alikali, even though it doesn't go through his hands or her hands. So it's not obligatory that it's paid to the alikali.
Manke ko luwati pour nyanta o joro fonkela alikalo ya.
So it makes it even worse, really, for those who claim that this is a rights violation, because it just goes to show that these people completely failed to pay taxes. Because if they did not recognize the alkali, they could have paid to the area council, but they did not. They chose their own alcalo and wanted to honor that person and paid their rates there to their own peril. But let's move on to another topic.
Okay. Kota Gavana?
Another thing.
LRR?
In LRR.
Commander Bankoro?
In LRR as a region.
2001?
In 2001.
Abri register banda?
After the registration.
A party you cover UDP?
The party called UDP.
In Arana, mul men yalonko ye consider ko?
They came and the people that they considered.
All man Gambian only?
That they are non-Gambians.
West African sub-region.
They came from the West African
sub-region. But they settled in LRR.
But they are settled in LRR.
And few go register voters card.
And they feel that those people should not get voters card.
But the APRC la mako
but the assistant of with the assistant of APRC.
In Arana register voters card.
They got the voters card.
But according
to the IEC's regulations,
voters card
if an individual person got a voters card
and among qualify as a citizen,
but he is not qualified to be a citizen,
also ownership on voters card also challenge before revising court.
You can challenge the person's how he got the voters card at the
revising
it at the revised court.
Revising court.
You mota nimfulonata wo samba revising court. You multo kafunyo kang region obekang.
These 12 people, they happen to take these people, so they mobilize people in the whole region.
Yeah, samba revising court.
They took it to the revising court.
Ko wolumela register pour ya table.
That those people, their register should be taken away from them.
Okito kera sinya kilimfula.
That case took place twice.
But enara kito falling.
But they changed the court.
But APRC kolye dabula kito kono.
Because of the involvement of the APRC military.
Ye charges sounded charge la UDP koleka.
Now they turned the charges to the UDP military.
Ko le false information la o mol.
That those people, the UDP people, gave false information. They were tried.
Magistrate Buba Jao.
The magistrate was called Buba Jao.
Yes, Samba Janjambure Tilda Lulu.
They were taken to Janjambure for 50 days. That happened in my presence. Myself and many other people in LRR, we took that as a violation of rights.
But do you know whether those people provided truthful evidence that those whose registration was challenged, that they were not in fact Gambians?
Ako fal yalo ne ko wol yese diar senengo fango funtindi le katandi ko ko molu manke Gambianolta.
Momo e moments samani mo kili moments samani.
Each and every one of them, the person.
But
they are resident in their village. They know the person. They know the person. Which country or which region. It was clear to them that those people. This is why they were summoned.
Give us examples.
Council. With their names, I did not bring them along.
Are you suggesting that Buba Jawo of precious memory unfairly convicted these people?
Well,
that's our view.
Because
the person who's made the summons, you shifted that summons.
That is not funny and it is not uncommon.
Mr. Fadera,
and it is not uncommon. For the simple fact that those who petitioned the revising court may have lied. And if they lied, they could very well be prosecuted for giving false information. So the question is whether there was evidence and that in both trials the judges acted in accordance with the law and in accordance with their best understanding of the evidence. So unless you have evidence, you cannot say anything about it. You cannot leave it to guesswork. You cannot leave it to speculation. And I want to believe from what you have said, it looks like you are just basing it on speculation. Isn't it the case?
Council.
These people who made the summons, they are all elderly.
And Kebas don't lie.
They knows them.
That's my belief.
That's my belief.
Okay. So Kebas are all angels. Kebas don't lie. Okay, so then we leave it at that.
Thank you.
The next one.
Again.
2007.
I think in 2007. I was aware.
Just a moment. Sorry. Let me take you back. Do you know some of those people who were convicted and sent to prison for 70 days?
For 50 days.
50 days, yes.
Yeah, I know.
Yes.
Yankuba Sonko. Ramo Sonko. Masane Damfa, yes. Momadou Diop. Labali Cissé. Are all these people UDP?
Very well.
Continue.
Yankuba Sediba.
Boubacar Sediba. Do you know whether any of these people have filed an application to the TRRC?
Fo ni molu yalo ne ko mo ko itol kono moy safaro ke TRRC le kana
you know dol fata le bar men be balu ni men fata ila dimbali application or safele but dol fana balu ne application.
Some of them are of late now, but some of them their relatives have filed.
Okay, all right. Okay, thank you very much. This would be looked at further to see whether there is any evidence suggesting that these people were just tried and wrongfully convicted simply because they were UDP people. And they were being punished for challenging supporters of the APRC.
Be kol kiskiseler ka jibe foto nyalo nyimolu ye kitindi leke sorong andu ngoni luwa manta ko katu ngi lotal dron ko ka ko ngi kelem yalon ko e APRC ko le mi ha unity APRC ko le mi ke mi yalon ka man bete ay to lew lekele so to nate muta wala ka ke kitindi ke sorong wala.
But for the purposes of this hearing,
bare ñing mbel ñi siyo minto la kuola,
would you just agree that you do not have any evidence to prove the allegations that have been made?
Ibe sonnale ko ite CDR table mi mi atina iba tandile janka ajako ite kumo mi foten tumiro mi foton kulo mi alon ko kusenongolom kuma sotorengolom
that you do not possess any evidence to prove the allegation that's just been made?
Ko CDR table mimba at senen la janko ite tumiro mi foten kulo mi sotota
hani
no.
Thank you very much. Could you proceed,
Thank
please?
You very much.
2007.
Again.
2007, Nimanyina.
In 2007, if I may remember.
Soma town alcalo.
Soma town's alcalo.
What's his name?
Kemorin Dabo.
Kemorin Dabo.
Well, Soma town alcalo then.
He was the alcalo of Soma town as he was then.
And he said for Yaya Jaji.
Him and the chief Yaya Jaji.
He knows about Kenokuala.
They have a problem with the land.
Chief Yaya Jaji.
Chief Yaya Jaji. What I was told.
That Kemorin
Dabo.
Abari Malemu Yaya Jaji barne Kemorin.
It's an uncle to Yaya Jaji.
But Kabi knows about.
But when they have problem,
a police will order a Kemorin arrest.
He called the police ordered.
Kemorin detained police station.
They arrested Kemorin and he was detained
24 hours.
For 24 hours. That happened in my present. I myself, I found him at the police station.
And do you know the basis of his detention?
What I was told, they have a problem about the land issue.
But do you know who was right?
No.
Honey. No.
So you do not know whether there were any human rights violations in that incident? Okay, so then we leave that one too.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, move on.
Again.
Almamo ba soma sate almamo town almamo
the imam of
Soma town almamo
Soma town imam
Alhaji Karamo Kante
Alhaji Karamo Kante
ya jaji a police will order ya arrest.
He ordered the police to arrest him.
Yasama police station odo.
He was taken to the police station.
Ya charge.
He was charged.
Quite false information of the Yaya Jammeh.
That he gave false information to the former president Yaya Jammeh.
Yasamba Kitola.
He was taken to court.
Mansa Konko.
Magistrate in front of the magistrate called Surahata Danso. There the trial took place. At the end of the trial, the magistrate Surahata Danso,
Alhaji Karamo Kante Imamo,
Alhaji Karamo Kante, the Imam,
acquitted and discharged.
Acquitted and discharged him. That happened in my presence in Soma.
And did anything happen to the magistrate?
Thank you very much, Council. When he did that, you were aware that
Yaya Jaji
that Yaya Jaji the chief,
another report of APRC
He made a report at the APRC.
Adu ala judgment lungo.
Because the day of the judgment, I was there myself. Fadera. The magistrate, what he said. According to his investigation at his own level, that the chief. If you see this Imam Karamo Kante, if you see he was reported. The chief's brother or his stepfather. He is the one who took Alaji Karamo Kante's land. During that conflict. The chief supported his stepfather. This is why he did this to this man. The magistrate was able to be aware of all that. According to his investigation, what he said in my presence. He said the chiefs violated the law seriously. We read something in my presence. That is the job of this. Magistrate Surahata Danso read that in my presence.
Local Government Act.
He said, according to the Local Government Act,
duties of the CFO.
The duties of the chief.
Section 137.
According to Section 137.
Subject to powers and functions vested in the district authority. Under Section 139.
Section 139 Yahunyaming.
CFO shall.
CFO Nyantale.
A.
Follow.
Promote.
Kidimandiroke.
Good order.
Marali Kendola.
And stability.
In
his district.
Ala Tungdokang.
B.
Flanjango.
Preside over. District tribunal. And here.
Sorry.
And here. And determine. Matters. Over. Which. They have. Jurisdiction. According to law. C. Promote. The general well-being. Of the district. D. Safeguard. The tradition. Customs. Also. Of the district. And promote. The well-being. Of the people. E. Keep a register. Every village. The district. And F. Perform such orders. Duties. As may be assigned to him or her by the council or commissioner plus governor.
This is what he said in my presence.
But
the magistrate said,
based on his own
investigations, he said the chief all the troubles that happen in LRR, he is the cause.
Make it in that.
And that is not your job. He should try and maintain peace, but he is not doing that.
Court proceeding.
He also interfered during his court proceedings.
Because one of the witnesses,
that who was supposed to come and attend that trial, and he's an elderly person. When he comes, he will speak the truth. One person, the chiefs went to his compound. He said to him that we all agreed that we can allege Karamo. He can be Gail. So you can also join the other witness. The chief said that person is not well. Chief himself went to the hospital.
Chief medical officer.
He said to the chief medical officer
Basiru Drame,
by the name Basiru Drame,
medical paper
so that they can help this elderly person with a medical paper, so that he will not appear before the court.
Basir Drame Fanayo medical paper.
Basir also prepared that medical paper. And he gave it to that elderly person. That elderly person also forwarded it to the court. The magistrate said,
court proceeding.
Said the chiefs interfered with his and the law did not accept that.
But the
care where the chief is, the respect accorded to him. This is why he did not make an arrest for him to be taken to Janjambur prison. But what the chief did, according to the he did not do that. He is advising him, let him change his attitude and try and maintain peace. Let him not create people. That is his job. Said to Karamo, go home, you did not do anything.
Mr. Witness, you are recalling these facts from memory.
Yes. When that happened, that was a big problem. The chief came all the way to Banjul. He saw with his people. I was aware that
Lamin Kababajo.
He was the one
National Assembly matters.
He was the one responsible of their political affairs and National Assembly matters. If I may remember, he was the one who spoke to the daily newspaper.
News conference press conference.
He had a press conference about the magistrate. He said what the magistrate said.
Honorable Madisise
was the one who wrote that story. He said Lamin Kababajo said allegations he leveled against the chief. If I may remember, the way they paraphrased it was that
the utterances made by the magistrate is capable of bringing hate and disrepute into the office of the CFO of Jarawes. Extra. Now remember fully.
I can remember that fully.
Then
the magistrate was sacked from his job and he went home.
This particular incident has been noted in our investigations into the violations that happened in the judiciary. We are aware that Magistrate Surahata done so upon giving a judgment that was not satisfactory to the government, was improperly dealt with by the government. Thank you very much for that one. Do you have any other violation you have? Which one?
Yes, I was aware.
2014.
In 2014, these people, the NIA arrested them.
Under detention.
They found me NIA, I was under detention.
Lamin Dabo, former governor,
the former governor,
Alkali Sala, GDC la National Assembly candidate for Jara West,
GDC National Assembly candidate for Jara West,
Sheriff Ba, GDC la mobilizer Kabada area,
GDC mobilizer Kabada area,
Bubakar Jallo, GDC la council candidate for Jaduma Ward,
GDC's council Jaduma Ward.
Yentra NIA,
they found me at the NIA.
Kabinata.
They said when they came, they said they were brought there by the NIA. But they said they got a report from the chief judges. These people I mentioned here. They said these people they met around Kabada Misra. That Yaya Jammeh was supposed to come on a presidential tour.
Bari Kabada Mumebe LRR.
Because Kabada, the whole of Kabada, LRR,
wole mu APRC 100%.
those people are the APRC 100%.
Anu wole man development for naso ya jame Masakunda.
Those are the people who did not have any development on
So ni ya jame minala otola 2014.
And now when Yaya Jame is coming for his store in 2014, what they told me at the NIA. Whether it's true or lie, I don't know. That's what they told me. They said, they said they made, they wrote some banners.
Primary school ground.
They will go to the meeting venue at Soma Primary School.
So that
they can tie the banners up. They will come and say, Kabada did not have any development. And Kabada is the 100% APRC. So they said what Yaya GC told the NIS again. It will not stop there. They will throw stones at Yaya Jame's meeting venue. NIS arrested them. But when I was there with them, they spent 2 weeks there.
I'm aware
that the NIS sent a team of investigators. But after they did their investigation, these people, they said this allegation that they said it was leveled against them by Yaya. The NIS said they did not see those allegations.
What do you mean by they don't approve?
They did not see the allegations.
Yes.
They did not have any evidence.
But let me ask you this question. Demonstrating in front of the president, that is lawful, isn't it?
Yes.
That is that's not a problem. But throwing stones at the president during his meeting, that would be unlawful. And
yes.
if there is a plan to do that, it would be a national security issue, isn't it?
Very well.
But all that is true. That is very well.
If there is any information about that there would be a reasonable basis to carry out an arrest and investigate.
That
is the obligation of the government.
And we don't know whether Yaya Jajisi had genuine information or not.
Andu malum fo Yaya Jajisi ate kibaru senengole soto okul kono.
Council.
I knew that.
If
that
honey jaje keso iota of truth na babala.
If there is any iota of truth indeed. Those people all of them. That's my belief.
But what we are saying here is not about whether the allegations are true or not. The important thing is whether there were reasonable basis to believe the allegations.
Ntolbe min fo kanya manga ko e min tumiro min fo tonya lam fo tonya bare fo ku ya misal le ko ngasi keno kuti mi alon ko asototale.
You see, the basis for arrest
mba sabla fo e molmuta
under the law
na loi la siloto
is reasonable grounds to believe that the persons concerned were committing or have committed an offense.
Anyanta kala tukule timi alon ko kusanangol mimba kala ko ngi mario la silo ni ko tonyalom ko anjarita le pruye ngi molmuta.
That's the standard.
Anyanta kala wala betata wala nyama.
So we cannot tell whether Yaya Jajisi fabricated evidence against these people just to have them arrested and detained. We cannot say that, can we?
Sila wayata ndine ko ntolta fono la ko Yaya Jajisi ay ko wol mutala ka dada dron pour ka jiko se manu ngi molkan.
I see you shake your head. Are you agreeing with me?
Ajele ko jija fo inteni be nyomo kanne ba.
Very well.
So therefore to say that Yaya Jajusi got these people arrested in violation of their rights, that would be speculation, correct?
La niko Yaya Jajusi ay nyimol mutale ay kele fo nyimol muta and atara o manyal minke ay wala hada madi nyanta tinyale ke kamunta ko kamunta ko miraku wolom dra malle manke kut mi alon ko aseniatema.
Correct?
Very well.
Okay. So then, if there is anything we can settle for here, is that their detention for 2 weeks without being taken before a judge, if they were not taken before a judge at all, would be a violation of their rights.
Ning ataram tol jang be ku fola janne mi alon ko ye minke la mang betia wolom ke mutake sindi dula kelin fo lokum fulay me kitindi o mu hana madi nyanta tinyalete.
Very well.
So that's the only rights violation we can agree on as it is on this particular case.
Betembo minto hada madi nyanta tinya ngindoronom nyanta bedna kambenna wol drone la ko wole keta jang yinko wol kono.
Very well.
Do you know of any other one?
Do fana lonne ba.
Kanale. Very well, I'm coming. Kota ke fana? Again.
Ajolong.
Kota ke fana?
Again.
Yaya Jajusi.
Yaya Jajusi.
Yara we sefo.
Chief of Jaras West.
These
three people I'm coming to mention.
He
said he is the one who took their land from them.
Kassim, we are not dealing with the issue of land.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
Okay, Abarakai, violation. Okay, since the land issue is...
Yes, because if we want to deal with land
something ought to happen. First of all, because
we must say something.
Because you don't need government land.
Because if you say government land...
government land, the whole property belongs to every Gambian.
That belongs to all Gambians.
We are not dealing with the issue of land. There was meant to be a land commission which would deal with the issue of land.
Kassim,
if we want to take that up,
forget about that one, since that one is beyond your mandate.
Okay, what I mentioned here...
Amanjari
summarize. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Ngamira wolem fengo tumi alon koko nyanta tinyal men kata LRR say kadu tanku
I think these are the violations
nyanta tinyal do be men kata Kiang Kulikunda
that there's another one that happened in Kiang Kulikunda
2001
in 2001 Jongulas
me nyaron kaya
headed by
Solo Bojang. Kulikunda.
They went to Kulikunda.
Ye Kesabamuda.
They arrested 3 men.
Ye Samba Sato Kono.
They took them.
3 men, who and who?
It's inside the village.
Okay, thank you. Wala mu Jansuru Njai.
What?
Jansuru
Njai.
Karafandi Njai. Baba Njai.
Baba Njai.
This should have been Njai Kunda.
Jongulas went to their village
2001.
In the year 2001.
They
said these 3 men,
they got a
report that they used to insult Yaya Jammeh in the village. And they got that report long since. They arrested these 3 men. What they told me, it was raining. They took them outside. They brought them outside. They asked them to crawl on the ground. In water, they were having guns. What they told me, Solo Bojang,
Kausu Kamara, small boy, something
that person, small boy, there's another person. But the people I cannot forget is Kausu Kamara Bombardre, Solo Bojang,
anu Mokotong.
and other people.
Yes, Munumandi,
They were made to crawl.
ye memfonye,
What they told me,
Ekoibe Damfula.
they said they were kicking them.
He leave it as Sato Kone Kafa, Anga Murmuru Sato Kono.
They were moving around the village. Let's go around the village.
Ilamusul Bejibela,
Their wives were looking at them.
Idul Bejibela,
Their Kirlians too were looking.
Vadul Bejibel.
The relatives were looking.
Go for Yemen for what young.
They said they were doing that. They were made to do that for a long time.
I'm very satisfied. Yemen for Jonkulal satisfied.
When upon the satisfaction of the junglers,
Ye be arrested.
they arrested them.
Yes, I'm back in line.
They were taken to Kanilai.
For how long?
Kilifula.
2 days.
Okay.
Kanilai for now.
Kanilai too.
Iko Jonko Bejeto etondi Leo.
Le
Wole Gio Catradame.
swamp.
Ha. Wole form. Eko Leo Beje Memfonye.
They say there's a swamp.
You have a jury.
There's a lot of water.
Ye single city.
Their legs were tied.
Ye Bulo city.
They tied their hands.
Ye Bulo Giocon.
They put them in
Ye
that.
Memfonye.
What they told me.
Who told you this?
You know, Jansurunjai,
Jansurunjai,
Rafandinjai,
Rafandinjai.
Baba Njai, what a jam American.
Babanjai is no longer here. He's in America.
But Ungayum Kuma Council.
But I got this information
Oh,
from
near Blackiocono, near
Do
Jimmy.
you know whether any one of them has made a complaint to the TRRC?
Fo yalo ne ko tol kono moy complain o sa fe TRRC leba.
You more flow Bela Kuma Council.
these two people. Their complaints were written at the TRRC here.
Okay.
Wo sorale.
That happened.
Thank you very much.
Anum Fana,
And again,
Kian Jomar,
in Kian Jomar,
2001.
Kiang?
in Jomar, Jomari, in the year 2001,
After election,
after the election,
a night after the election day.
Suto janding ele carte fa besila.
No, after the election.
Suto carte fa kera suto mena suto nying.
The day after the election.
Carte fa kera kilungo mena suto.
What elections was this?
Carte fa
2001.
Presidential or
President, thank you, presidential election.
Wolem President carte fa yo.
Borcham,
Boricham,
Bunzio, Menta More,
the owner of the house,
I mean for you.
what he told me,
Wait, Katu Jani election Besila,
because before the election,
APRC, Betambila Katamila Jasobo.
they were passing, going for a meeting in Jasobo.
Yaje, Alabunka, UDP Balorobeje,
They saw on top of his house there was a UDP flag.
Ilamoto Loda,
APRC, their vehicle stopped.
La 22nd July Bosor Kobe Selaje, Santo.
Their boys, APRC 22nd July boys, they want to climb on top of that house to remove the flag.
Ari, Ilakebal Koyoka Labulaja, Jindi Luminal.
But their elders said, no, don't remove it. There will be a day that this flag will be.
I mean for a day after presidential election.
What he told me, a day after the presidential election,
Tulbe Larry, a for Salam Fulat, Anitalan Sabatema.
they said, according to them, they were lying around, they were on bed around 2 to 3 a.m.
More Lara Mamelulong.
Unknown people came.
Setela Bunkan, ye Sanso Jurvejan Dimba.
They climbed on top of their house and poured fuel.
Yamala.
They set the house on fire.
They were
in the house, they were not aware. It was the villagers who came to them, they are telling them that your house is getting on fire. They were assisted and what he told me, all their belongings got burned in the house. Their rice, their animals also got burned, they died. And they said it has serious disturbance to them.
And in this particular instance, these people only have suspicion that the house was burnt by APRC supporters.
Ni kol fanan kono ni mol min tam kordani itro fanan lata sobo mi soto ko ngi la bungo ngi ya jani nul ya jani APRC ko la mol ya jani
yolo fo ko kabri bida meeting la Jasobo.
That's what they said. They said when they were going for a meeting in Jasobo,
ko be balero la
they said they wanted to remove that
bari la kebal ko ala bula ja jindi nominal.
Their elders said, no, this flag, there will be a day in which the flag will be removed.
So, election, la first victory.
After the election, their second victory, their house was burned.
But
they suspected that it was done by the APRC.
So that is just a suspicion.
Very well.
Proceed.
Continue. After that, Now LRR, there's a village. It's called Madina Fonkoy. In that village,
500 meters ile campo beje APRC. 500 meters campo.
It is away from
campo in ala size 500 meters ile.
The camp there 500 meters.
Ngamira 500 meters square.
I think it's 500 meters square.
The campo soreje.
They have a camp there.
Kataje ikoka 22nd July boys ole ke train je.
They said they used to train the 22nd July boys there.
Paramilitary activities.
On paramilitary activities. Spying.
And other things.
That's what they are taught there.
And
those are the people who normally you move around the villages to listen to people's voice, to go and report people. Those are the people, when UDP is having meetings, they will throw stones in our meetings. Because I have one case in the village called Jala Sankuya. People were in the meeting. Many stones were thrown in the meeting. One big stone happened to reach one woman called Mariama Jame. Broke her teeth. That happened.
And on this one too, is there any proof that those who were throwing stones were APRC supporters?
Yes, there is proof. They arrested one person
police
and was taken to the police.
He
was taken to court. He was fined. He paid the fine.
Did the person tell the court which party he belonged to?
100%.
Okay, thank you. Do you know the name of the person?
It's late now.
Do you know the name?
I know, but it's late now.
Is it contained in your report?
No, I did not. I may give you.
We should know the name.
No problem, I will give you.
All right.
Again, it happened.
Another
person from Jarabureng, but the village is called Weringaraba. He said he himself,
Musa Sabali.
By the name Musa Sabali. He said he was in his compound in Weringaraba. He said the boys of 22nd July came to and was asked to board their boarding double cabin pickup and was taken to the bush and was beaten. That what he used to say, they used to hear it. He also made that report.
Was this person maltreated because the person did not belong to the APRC?
No, they said he used to say bad words against APRC.
So he must have been anti-APRC.
Maybe.
Proceed.
Well,
these are the human rights violations that happen that I am aware of in LRR.
Thank you very much, Mr. Fadera.
I'm asking, there is another human rights violation that happened after these 22 years. I don't know whether I may be given, yes, after. I don't know whether I will be given.
We don't have a mandate to listen to after 22 years. Thank you very much, Mr. Fadera. I have no further questions. And I hand you over to the commissioner.
Thank you, Council, and thank you,
Mr.
Fadera, to testify. This clash between APRC supporters and the others.
The
supporters of the APRC are not agents of the state or acting on behalf of the state?
Ngi APRC la kanuntele banke ko mansa dokula la pour ka ko itolbe
masala toyala
ha be lokan masala ko wala.
Is that correct? Can
O
you
muto
confirm
nyalti
that?
Ko mantra mas lori masaya.
Ha mantara mansa kunda dokola kom kamanya me mo nyolka.
And they are not acting on behalf
Mantra mas kunda do bara ikadoko ke mas kunda toyala.
True, they are not working on the government, but they are acting. They are actions.
Yo lo ne bang.
Do we know that for sure?
Baga.
Very well.
Thank you. Commissioners, if you have any questions, please indicate. Imam C, you have the floor, please. Yeah.
Kassim baraka.
Sa leral bi nga leer ni ak coono bi nga sonn.
Senendro mi senendi jang ani ngepata bi take.
Man li ma lay laaj mooy sa bitig bi.
Lafte ñi kala min na wala mi la kanti ngoti.
Fiñ la joxoon ñaata at nga fa ne?
Kabri e kanti ngi ci kaya dile le tarta je sanji jelu.
1989 to 2008. Can someone help me? Okay.
Someone help. Calculate.
2008.
Yeah. That's what the council says.
Fula area council bi joxoon ñaata at nga fa ne foofu lay laaj.
Area council e min dile la. E sangi jelle soto je lafte wala lolna.
Wala 19 years.
19 years.
Dañ la doon fayu.
Be jokanilu.
Huh?
Mam watal.
Were you paying rent?
Ako fo be nun luwaso jokandu.
Annual.
How much?
Ika
were
jelle
you
jono.
paying annual rent?
Ika jelle jo sango.
$50.
How much?
150 per year.
Téeméer ak juróom fukki dërëm la doon fay ci at bi.
Area boobu yow rek lañ fa joxoon wala am na ñeneen ñi fa nekkoon.
Ko ma fa ngoto ya dite dam mallam foy ni moño dolle bi je.
Bla dol fana ka di mo la le.
Yes, there are places.
am na ñeneen ñu fa nekkoon ñoo xam ne tam joxoon nañ leen place.
Someone is translating Imam C.
Okay. All right. Sorry.
Ila jabiro ñi fenke ba nga fofu tout
place bi nga nekkoon noonu ma ne ndax boor yooyu yow rek yaa fa nekkoon wala am na ñeneen ñi nga xamante ne area ko council joxoon nañ leen.
Mo dol fana be jeli yemir fana wutul.
There are other people whom they remove there.
ñooñu itam comme niñ la joxee woon lañ leen joxee woon.
Ko mol fana ya di tele ñame ya di wolle wala ñama.
Council ka kanti di ka di al hala kili wala ñama.
Council, every council that they normally give, they give it to under the same condition.
ñooñu buñ leen génnee nangoon nañ.
O mol kabri bondi je tol sontale.
Well, at the end of the time,
it's left to them, to those people. I cannot talk on their behalf. I am here for my own case.
Waaw yow xam nga dañ la defaral teranga dañ la jox ñu ne la suñ ko soxlee ñu jot ko.
Ko ite ye buñale di.
am no la wol to yalla imam.
Ya di le buña kan ko ni sulata la wati bina tale bul fana.
Waaw léegi yow sa time bi bu mu jotee yow nga bañ a bàyyi.
Sila ka muta ko ite la wato ka rabanta ite fana na te banka boji.
Imam mo ko mo ya fa ko. Left time bi aga men fo ko.
I want you to tell
Masaya di la condition. Condition kam man ni atra ko ye ya lon ko amanta ni silola. Thank you. Left there after ko masaya ni din to la satro le kam.
Government give it to me on conditions.
What satro wala atina ye right soto le kan evict Cambodia ye right soto Cambodia.
Those conditions that gave them the right to remove me, evict me from the place.
But utolle fanana ra foko ilawo eviction wala sembo me babande ko ya baile.
Again, the same condition also, they rely on that. They say they have suspended eviction again.
Well, suspend.
This is why when they say they have suspended the eviction,
what suspension of the Minister of Local Government?
Suspension came from the Minister of Local Government.
Through a communication with the President Officer.
Through a communique that came from the President.
Suspend, Imam.
That was why the reason why they suspended it.
Point of order. That communication.
Or communication.
you did not see. And the advice, according to you, was not written, it was oral.
But later on, member the president officer. But later on, member the president officer.
But the letter that came from the office of the president,
area council,
that was sent to the area council,
and governor, yeah,
to the governor. I saw that letter and I read it.
What did it say?
That the petition that I write, the petition I wrote, that they
because
but they, because they did not. What I did not happen in that way. So that it can go in according to the law.
So the letter is against you.
Not that.
Because
the letter that I write, that if they can explain themselves that the letter was sent for that purpose.
So what more minister
that was the time the minister said, he said to the director that let them suspend the eviction for now.
Let's not reopen the round of questioning on that.
I think we had them gone through that already. Imam, see if you don't have any more questions. Commissioner Kinte.
Imam, see, pare gulo salache bi.
Sudah pare nga kay ñu dem ci commissioner ci Kinte.
Waaw man kay pare na parce que ñoom condition bu set lañ ko joxoon.
Ako wa beda mate fanam pare te baray mi.
Imam. Commissioner Kinte.
Yeah. Asa unwoto tariaka. Ntela nyinen karol bita sekundankol la kuoto.
My question will go to the sekundankas.
Na nyinen kar follow.
My first question.
Konna adoto.
According to our tradition.
Adi fenkilen fo ko sefo nyanta na adol ning chosanolu kidi mandilale.
Because he said one thing, you said the key should promote our traditions and our cultures.
Woto ngamira te nyanta taramendo wala mu na ado ka menke siolu be Gambia be menu tamu alkaliati ninke ba ma boteje afata.
Then I think what he should do, all the tribes in the country, if an elderly person died, the person next to him should be given the leadership. I have seen some people, they have constraints, but still they are the one on the leadership. They will give the honor to, they will take the honor, they will be having the honor, but they will bring their youngest to on that. Some of them, they will not even live in the village or in the country here, but they will choose one of their relatives who will take care of the village. If you see people are doing it in that way, they don't want our tradition to escape from us. If at all we are living. But you said we have seen another living. If you are to bring them together, if you are not fools, you will not take all that traditions and take them and throw it away. Maybe theirs will be different, different from ours. But maybe it will be lack of understanding from the mind. But if that is there, even our hours, all the time we should try and join these new ones. Because life is all about changes, so that we can change step by step. This is why they ask the chief to promote our cultures and our traditional beliefs and values. Now, if at all there is a village that you know,
Ila alpha do banta.
Yeah, one of their elder passed away.
Member noma singoto ye wole keje.
The person who was next to him was the person who has been given the leadership.
Obe politics sifa mendo.
The type of politics that person is engaged in.
Naman fansun daji ko soto mosinye umenna.
If at all that person did not have his own type way of politics that people will not like.
Se fola odoku palaso me kala doku wala nganyanta bambandila wolto.
The chief that the work that he is given, that person will have to empower that the work of that chief. And previously,
lead council
I told lead council, it is not a force for you to go and pay your rates or tax to the alkali.
Directly.
There are many times myself I went to pay my rates and taxes to the area council directly.
But receipt la counterfoil.
But the receipts counterfoil.
Nim payment kete ka wala ka funyo ma calculate alkalo la commission dia.
If payments are done, they will calculate that amount and give the alkalo his commission.
Of course, nim mo mantara do fija kang.
Sorry.
Nim mo mantara modo fija kang. Fija. Grieved.
Grief. If at all that the other person, there is no other person who is grief about the other person.
Iladu mo bulume mutola chosane mote prior than the area council.
Giving it to their own person for him to take that money to the area council.
Among safe water la fenna.
It will not reduce anything to the chief.
Among Nunula safe alkalo men for sekanga matala fenna.
And the alkali that was forcefully given to them did not reduce anything to him.
And among area council tala fen.
And it did not reduce anything to the area council. But there is something that doubts me in this thing. I want you to answer it.
Nyunula chosane alkali tombongo wale follow keta bang jandiman sakunda alkali tombongo.
These villagers, their own chosen alkalo that they have chosen, was he the first person to be chosen, or it was they choose him before the president will choose their own? What they told me. That the whole village. The whole village is coming together to choose their traditional alkali. Sorry, I don't know. Sorry, I don't know. Mr. Fadera, Eko?
Eko sare mulbe bonka domani. Puru kana ila chosana alkalo tombo. Kabilolu.
Yeah, the Kabilolu.
Kordalu. But the Janni tolebe parela wala.
Before they are done with that,
someone
came with a letter saying that he is the one they have chosen to be the alkali. They said that letter, where did that emanate from? He said the letter was given to him by the chief, and the letter was given to from the governor to the chief.
Local government law acting code Janko in consultation with the community, or at least the community leaders.
Then meaning that the act that you quoted here, that these actions should be done in consultation with the communities. This is why
violated.
Violated. That why they have violated? It was because the person they are going to.
I understand.
Let me clarify that.
Yeah.
What I tried to suggest was, even if there was a violation, it was not a violation of rights, but rather it was a violation of procedural.
But
second question.
Ye namo njole ya di nyina ila ada alkalo la bang fo majo.
These people did pay their rates and tax and gave it to their traditional alkali.
Orenna sa banyaw jabile.
Yeah, let him finish.
Ya jabile, better. Ya dialale atata be
they have paid and gave it to the alkali, and the alkali take it to the I know.
Ye kodo be kaf nyomal.
They mobilize the money.
Sato wala majority alcalo, traditional alcalo.
Yeah, traditional
Kodo
alcalde.
diala.
They gave him the
Samba
money.
area council.
So that he can take it to the area council.
Aya samba je.
He took it there.
Kasia ko ay order sort of sefo bulko akana kodo muda.
As the cashier said, he got an order from the chief that he should not handle the money.
Oto ay nyinin kara kuto bulanding hakilo to sign. Niye sato farada lulu.
If you split the whole village into
farada tang.
10 speed.
Ni ya mira ni menu ya kafu nyoma ila ada alkalo tata diala tata samba area council ya na bay wo ni ya farang jumala siata ani men mansakunda men tombo ngadila
Ye men foni.
What I was told.
Ya faram.
You split it.
Ya faram silla sabat.
Split it into 3 parts.
Amunda koko 3 farad la fula.
It's
And
like
half. Wole ya di
one and a half.
Faral dula fula and half.
2.5.
Ni o kondobita komen tango tang say nyong.
Wole kata.
Akamunda keme tan say nyong be waranta worula ni lulu. Wol be akafu nyome adinya alkalo la bira asambere akansule anabai.
Yola.
That's what they said.
These
are my questions. Thank you very much.
Thank you. If you have any concluding remarks to make, you may please proceed.
Silang commissioner la Carola Moman sura me lafta ke nyininka kiamane
bundaile yakuma kalabangol.
Thank you, Honorable Kiaman.
Inumbarabake Honorable Kiaman.
Abaraka bake lead council.
Inumbarabake lead council.
Albedo ko kendo menaja.
This honorable, this good job you are doing here.
Kadung ka kukuru ka abondi munyokono.
Because to investigate bad things.
Sako mini yake kango be bulnu.
Especially those who did it at that time, they were having the authorities.
Amandia.
It's not easy.
Atoli fana ale fatiata bake.
Those people also, you are very brave.
Anu aliake alale.
You are doing it for the sake of Allah.
May fahamta will be alon ka atol mana ko dini laja.
Those who have the understanding knows that you people are not here to look for money.
Atol na tala banku dia nyanto akamula nyanto dila.
You are here to protect people's right.
Oto nte bafula ala baraka bake Honorable Kiaman anila lead council ani mulbe.
Then for me, I am saying that thank you very much, Honorable Kiaman and lead council. Because this job you are doing is not an easy job.
Bari ni ela mo APRC la forum la.
Because if you listen to APRC's forum, they used to insult to you people's moral. Every day, both day and night in the evening.
Ani esa boy banjun,
especially esa boy banjun and Kiaman
boy banjun wala mezat.
Boy banjun, they refine.
Oto ali o trouble menta ani o bata ani Tokyo.
After taking those, I think you have taken that in the interest of the country. Not because of money. You cannot leave your job that you are doing in Europe. The way I see it.
Albedo ku kendela adum support la
we should all support you.
But katonya ta di amarila.
But to give the truth to the person.
Me tonyoro ka bukala fala de.
The person who offended never wanted. Because nobody wants to be an offender.
Adum kito na be kala kiline ka kanye kilie boy.
And especially if there is a trial, one will win, one will lose. The person who loses always is unhappy. He is always agreeing. But there was a passage APRC. Those who destroy they used to say you will do it, nothing will come out from. Go anywhere you want. I did not say they used to say. Now God has brought TRC. If people are saying, narrating that, they used to say people used to come here and lie. They used to say that if we come here, you used to give us money. Because for me, somebody give me trouble. I did not confront him. He is
outreach mission.
TRC's outreach missions. They call me that they are coming. I was also disseminating the information in the village. I reached to one chatting place. I said to them, God willing, the people from TRC will be coming here and they want all of us to converge.
APRC, former National Assembly member Njai
APRC, former National Assembly member Njai Dabo. He said to the people that do not go there.
Ni APRC man better. Sorry, ni TRRC man better.
This TRRC is not good.
Eka kodol di molla.
They used to give people money.
Pour que mol kata testify.
So that people can go there and
testify. La APRC la.
To say lies, to level lies against.
Ani Yaya Jammeh.
And Yaya Jammeh APRC.
Nkai njai.
I said to him,
Ni mo nyimfo me mankete.
I said to him that if someone said this, I will not listen to him. But you
National Assembly member.
You were one time our National Assembly member. You don't know what is what. You, if I take you to the police, will you be able to prove that the TRRC they used to give people money? He said to me, that's what is happening. I said to him, that statement is a lie. It's a lie. Anyone who is saying that is lying. Your APRC people use the lies that they used to disseminate. I'm appealing, let us stop those kind of actions. In a trial, not everybody wins. People sat here in this very condition. They said they are who kill. Huh? The time they were killing people, they were proud of that. But when they came before this commission, they were crying. This scare, many people, if they sit in front of this scare, they feel dizzy. Those people, they used to be proud of what they are. What I'm saying, let us agree that two people, if they have conflict, both of them will not win. It's only one who will win. Gambia transformation and Gambia's transformation will continue. Because Solo Sandem lost his life in reform. And the reform is yet to come. Let us accept the reform and change our attitudes. One person should not say that he is the law. You are the person who is implementing that law. But you are not the law. This OZ, I'm saying Dabo. Anyone who is brought before him, if at all that one UDP, he will say, make instruction for that person to be taken to he instructed a woman and her child to be taken in the cells. That person is a UDP. He instructed a woman, a pregnant woman, 8 months to be taken in the cells because he's a UDP. Because the law does not belong to nobody. You are just there to enforce it. But here in this country, really what I see, they think that the law belongs to them. Security sector reform. The security sector reform is just from the mouth. But the actions is yet to take. The actions has to take the police. If a police officer is able to spoil somebody's right, we should see to it that the police officers, he should arrest that person also and take him to the court. Other people will not emulate. Those who kill people, let them be take the uniform from them. Huh? Our victims in LRA, that's what they said. Those people who have killed, those who have tortured people, and they are still wearing our uniform. Let the authorities take the uniform from them. Even in our LRA, there is a person who used to kill. He's still wearing our uniform. I have a report from him. He killed 2 people, and those people, they said, anytime they saw him, they feel angry. They said, can't you make a report about this man? Because anytime we see this man, we used to, our mind used to reflect our people. When I went to a victim center in our meeting, Every day I used to mention it there. Every day I used to say it there. I said to but these victims' families said anytime they saw him, they used to remember their
United Nations la UNDP la office
I can remember UNDP's office that is here.
And National Security Advisor la office
and National Security Advisor's office.
Through Victim Center.
Through Victim Center.
Inada LRR.
They came to LRR.
Another fact-finding mission.
They said they were there for a fact-finding mission. I hosted them. I called the victims and each and every one of them raised their concerns.
Yeah, for United Nations representative
they mentioned in front of the United Nations rep that these people, when they saw them, at any time they saw them, they feel uncomfortable.
National Security Advisor representative for
National Security Advisor's representative said he has written the concerns in his book. But when it was time for me, I said it is not important. Actions is more important. But we don't see any action. Those who are working under the law, for the law, they should guide the law, but they are not. It's not their property. That is very important.
Never again.
We said never again. There are certain things that used to happen here.
Be mindful
of that because there was change of government. We said never again.
For
example, a politician will come.
A presidential advisor.
He or she will go to the presidential advisor and tell him or her this so person is working with but he's a UDP, sack him from his job. We graduated from that. He's still here. He's still here. A politician will come.
Presidential advisor he will
go to the presidential advisor and he will say that this particular person is my enemy. Help me to trouble him. We should graduate from that. We should be graduated from that. That is a clear violation of rights. I think that's the purpose of the commission here. Then if we are told that those kind of actions is still here, if even this commission ended, then commissions will continue existing in the country here.
Victim Center, Gambia Victim Center.
Gambia Victim Center. They tried very well. Because in this country, from Carton to Gunjur, there is no person who can say that he is not aware that there is a victim center. Each and every village in the village that any person go there and register complaint, give a complaint that your right has been violated. There are some people whose rights were violated, but they are scared to go there. Some will say they have left everything in the hands of others.
But victim center
But Victim Center used to tell them that if your right was violated, if you do not reveal it,
Victim Center activity a school support program.
Victim Center, what I am aware of, they have school support program. They used to help children for their school fees.
A medical support program for
they have medical support program too. Even in my area myself, there are certain people who benefited from that.
And social support.
And psychosocial support.
They are
the people who made TRRC to be more popular.
Because
very well, because anywhere we go to, we used to mention the name of TRRC. Because TRRC is having the balance to separate everything. The advice I'm giving to this sitting government,
never again.
That is never again.
Victimize.
To take person to victimize him because to take that person and block him. That is we should end that in this country.
Kamo tumi ka baido kola.
To allege someone just to drive him, to sack him from his job. We should graduate from that. Every citizen is equal to the resources. Each and every person is your right to join each and every political party that you wish to. And election is approaching. We should all try and maintain peace. The president should help us because he is the one who has been entrusted with the authorities, everything. The police, the soldiers are under his command. The people who are supporting the president, they should try and preach the peace. They should not say that we will do something out of it. If their supporters come to them with complaints, tell them that let them go to the police or let them make a summons. Or there are people attack other political parties. The sitting president has already created his own political party. If his supporters have problem with other people, that executive serving under that president should not go to the police station. That is a bad indication. That is the same as what the former president Yahya Jammeh was doing. So the president's entourage, they went to the police station. They were talking there, people started recording them. On that day, I was afraid, seriously. I was afraid. I see to read that during the time of Yahya Jammeh, that was the but we were thinking that has ended here. But I'm appealing for that kind of things to happen. If the president's supporters came with a complaint, let them tell them that let them go to the law. But let them stop calling the police.
Mr. Fadera, can we limit this? You know, our mandate is to investigate the past. It is important to learn from the past so that we don't make errors in the future. But let's try to limit what we have to say, especially with regards to the government of the day, because whereas it is important for all of us to learn about what has happened, this really should not be transformed as a forum to talk to the current government. Perhaps maybe that's.
Thank you very much, Council.
What I will do. This is the whole Gambian. As I heard the president say, then this is our duty is to maintain peace, to talk about peace, and to act peacefully. To talk about peace is the tongue. And the tongue is talking. And when we are acting, we should act peacefully.
Because banko fo mo clear marala.
Because as a country, there must be a leader. We must have a leader. And each and every person should try to look for the position. Let us try and maintain peace. Conflict. Our these supporters, they are the architects of conflict. We should not accept all their words. I thank the entire commission members.
Honorable Chairman and lead council.
Starting from Honorable Chairman. Also thanking my family. Because my family, they stood for me the entire 22 years, past 22 years. They supported me both. My mother also used to pray for me both. She is old now, but I'm also extending. We should all be mindful of terrible things. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much indeed, Mr. Fadera,
Ya
for
man
your
ko
testimony
in
and the
barabake
concluding
Mr.
remarks you
Fadera
just
ila
made.
said and road anila kumakang yela kumakang dasoro menna.
This commission was established to provide, among other things,
Commission ya londi menka molenka nyinindiro ke anin kukotangolla.
provide the victims an opportunity to relate their own, in their own accounts on the suffering that they had endured.
Mu kolea menu taki mulla me alonko sanyi muani fulo komando kol meni kolea taki puruka harije ka silo yele puri sila wo kolea nyena ya fintindi moya jube de marobe ki dino lela nyame.
Since the 7th of January 2019,
kabring January karo dilworo wula 2019 sango kono.
We have provided exactly that opportunity to victims to come and testify before this commission.
Ngo harjo yele mol yenne men yana ko kolea soto pour kana jang ke la kolea dal sata commission nyati ngola jang.
We're not targeting any individual.
Mantra dolingo la kan hanim mo killing
We're not targeting any region.
And mantra dolingo la kan han dina killing.
We're not targeting any sections of the Gambian population.
Mantra dolingo fana la kan hani ikafu killing banko kanjang.
The principal objective of this summer commission
Na hameng da be mu menti ni commission oto
is to create a historical record
wala nka tarika loringo sa bambandingo londi
of the violations that occurred here
nyanta tinyal men yalon ko wollel keta jang
during the period July 1994
wala nka da muta July karo 1994
January 2017.
Hanika vikana fo January karo kono December 2017.
In order to promote reconciliation and healing.
Nyinkambala fananka kidimandro ke nyo moldamal nga murunyo kan aning jaralol yeke kuolla men yalon ko wollel tinyata.
In order to respond to the needs of our victims.
Aninka bi fananka jabiro ke molla men yalon ko koleasore la sula dal pour ka jara ka jabi.
In order to address impunity.
Jaja fana molla men yalon ko ye kuol ke hanifa man finde je ko fana ko nyinta ka kuka kuoto.
And to prevent a repeat of these violations.
And
recommend appropriate preventive mechanisms. Institutional and legal reforms as well.
Andunga beltarla kono wala mnyiti ko doku bundal la falinya aninna luwanyi mfana na falinya banko kanjang o fana betarla ko kono.
This is the work of the commission.
Nyina mu nyin commission bala doku oti.
It's not going to be intimidated.
Abetekala kudi me alon ko moba danda dunda na doku kono.
Certainly we're not going to be afraid to carry out this mandate.
Andung hanika biya be sabateri ni fana ko nte sila la puru luwa doku sembo mendi na puru ngana doku ke nte sila la puru ka doku ka nyama.
We will endeavor to carry out this mandate
to the
best of our ability. Council, you have many submissions to make before we conclude for the day.
Mr. Chair, I would like to put in some few exhibits.
Please go ahead.
The notice to vacate served on Kassim Fadera should be Exhibit 224. Notice to vacate, the notice to vacate, yes, should be 224. That is that of 13 June 2007, and notice to vacate, which is suspending the notice earlier given, should be Exhibit 224A, and transfer of ownership of land documents would be Exhibit 224B. Then Foroya newspaper dated 26 to 27 November 2007 should be Exhibit 224C. And the Daily News dated May 7th to 9th, 2010 should be 224D. And Daily News dated 12 to 14 March 2010 should be 224E. Thank you very much, Mr. Chair.
Yeah. Council, is it still your suggestion that the allegations made against them at the magistrate that you recall concerning, from the the witness that they should not be part of the record, even if they had been.
No, Mr. Chair, because here we had a judicial decision and a judgment. It ought to have been appealed. Well, for some reason, the appeal did not go through. The allegations that were made are not supported by what is contained in the record. So, I mean, there isn't much the Commission can do with that. And after all, the record seems to show by 3 witnesses that his claim is not the case. And he had the opportunity to challenge that in court. He didn't. So
I thought you had made a splendid defense of the integrity of the magistrate.
Indeed.
And if that is part of the record, then perhaps some of the thing. But anyway, leave it.
In that case, we can put in the record. Mr. Kambi, give me the record of the magistrate's court.
Yeah. Fine. We will. Can you? Yeah. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Hold on a second.
Just to remind him, John.
So that should be Exhibit 224F. Exhibit 224F. What is the record of the proceedings?
Actually, I'm not taking a position yet. What's your advice? You still maintain that, or you think as I said, it's in view of your
okay,
your
let's put it in, Mr. Chair. It's safer. 224F. Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks.
Yeah. Also, in his closing remarks, he made 2 points that are very sensitive. I'm not sure whether we had captured it adequately earlier on. Like breastfeeding mothers were detained with their children. An 8-month pregnant woman was also detained in custody. Have we got it adequately, or do we probe a little bit more to substantiate and quantify?
It is not really humanly possible to capture everything by way of investigations that is said by witnesses. He still has an opportunity to share that information with the Commission. So he could revise his report and send it in, and we would take a look at it. Mr. Fadera, do you want to share your report of the rights violations in your district?
Aka men fo wala nyindi ko ila report o nyi meye men sabe fo bela fleding commission ya talabang men keta hanamani la nyanto la menti nyata na tundo kanje.
Could you send me that one? Could you send me that one?
Yeah, especially about these 2 cases. Juvenile implication.
I am not sure that one is captured, but...
Council?
Yes.
Now, allow me to prepare and give it to you.
No problem. No problem.
I'll do that.
Okay.
I'll do that.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah. And Council, the last submissions that you just agreed to would be G, F and G, or F alone?
Sorry,
F. Yeah. Thank you very much indeed. And this brings us to the end of the proceedings for today. It's been a pretty long one, a long day. We will resume tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock sharp. Thank you very much. Meeting is adjourned.